Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Today I wanted to talk about this concept: making major life decisions with symptoms. So, I'm going to get to that in a minute. Had a couple conversations this week, and I've had some conversations about this topic over the years. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on it. So, slow down your breath. Relax your body. Know that you're okay. So, making major life decisions while you're dealing with symptoms. All right. So, a couple examples. I had a message a while ago. Thinking about having a kid, but I still have symptoms. I don't know if I should. Maybe I'm not going to be ready. What if that affects the childbirth? Or what if it hurts too much? Am I going to be able to get through labor? What if I have the kid and I still have symptoms? Am I going to be able to care for my own child? Scary, major life decision. Jobs, working, employment. Major life decisions. I hurt too much. I don't think I can work now. Or I'm starting to feel a little bit better. Should I go back to work? Major life decisions. I've even had people say, should I leave my spouse in order to get better from this mind-body stuff? Because there's some challenges there, right? Major life decisions. And I guess what I would like to suggest, and it's easier for me to suggest it than it is to actually do it, but if you were feeling great and this whole mind-body syndrome, perceived danger, pain, or symptoms weren't an issue, what would your decision be? Would you have that kid? Would you be working? Right? Would you leave your spouse if you were feeling great? Try not to make these life decisions based on the presence of symptoms right now. Because one thing that ends up happening is, like the kid thing, it's like, well, I don't know if I should have a kid because, and then the prediction is I'm going to still hurt 9 months from now when I have the baby. That's a bad prediction. It's creating more fear. Or should I return to work and take on a more stressful job? Well, if you were feeling great, would you do that? Or is that job not something you're interested in anyway? Because if you're making the life decision based on the presence of your symptoms now, unfortunately, what I'm reading into that is that you don't believe you can get better. And I don't know that mindset of, I'm not going to get better, so I can't make that life decision to go back to work, have a kid, or even whether or not I should stay with my spouse. And there's probably dozens of life decisions. And even less significant, it's like, I'm afraid to plan a vacation because I'm scared the vacation's going to be messed up. Well, when's the vacation if you were to go? Like next summer, 25. And I'm like, so why are you predicting that you're not going to get better in the next year? Or in the next 2 months, for that matter? So when it comes to major life decisions, ask yourself, if I were feeling great, would I do it? If the answer is yes, there's no harm in making these plans. Proceeding under the assumption that you're on the right path, you're capable of implementing this work, you're capable of teaching yourself that there's no reason for the symptoms in the first place, and you can get well. And there's so many people that have come through the group that I talk to often that say, you know what, I finally pulled the trigger and I made vacation plans. I was terrified about it all the way leading up until the trip. And then one of two things happens. I went on the trip, and because I was so engaged in the trip, my symptoms came way down. I had a really nice time. Or I went on the trip and my symptoms were pretty high, but I didn't care as much because I was still enjoying myself. and I'm glad I went. So making a decision to avoid vacations because you're worried that you're going to have symptoms that's going to ruin the vacation will just continue to, procrastinate going on a trip and doing some things that may actually be beneficial in the recovery process because you're actually engaging in life and doing things other than sitting around worrying about how I can fix myself. So regardless of the big life decision, if you're predicting I can't do that in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 2 years because of my symptoms, you really got to evaluate and ask yourself the question, is that because I don't believe I'm going to get better within that, whatever that time frame is? Because if that's the case, then I really want you to kind of hit the reset button on this mind-body stuff and say, I know what causes symptoms. It applies to me. So if you understand that the perception of danger is what's causing symptoms and that applies to you, then that fourth fundamental of I'm capable of doing this is something you really want to focus on. And you want to start to become your own coach and start to lift yourself up and convey that you can do this. Dan, come on, you can do this. You're going to do this. You're moving forward. You're making progress. You're learning. You're taking baby steps. You're freaking out less. You're able to calmly reassure yourself better and better as you move forward, right? Go through the fundamentals and make a decision that this is going to work for you so you don't have to postpone all of these life decisions until some, theoretical date in the future. Because if you keep on doing that, or you say, I can't do that because of my symptoms, you're actually acknowledging that I don't believe I can get better. And if you're in that space where you don't believe you can get better, I'm going to really encourage you to dig in to the fundamentals. Take the assessment again. If it's TMS, if it's perceived danger pain or other symptoms, know that there's a predictable, reliable way that if you implement, it's not just possible to get better, it's probable that you will get better. So, are you holding off on any major life decisions because of your symptoms? And is it because you don't truly believe you're going to get out of this and that you're going to be in symptoms for a long time? Look, the fact that I had symptoms for 13 years should not scare you, because I went through that long before Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, podcasts, dozens of coaches, dozens of books out there. I went through it. I had Sarno's books, and I made every mistake possible. Don't say, well, it took Dan 13 years, so it's going to take me forever too. No. I made every mistake possible. That's why I'm so compelled to teach this stuff daily, is so that you don't make the same mistakes I did, and you can kind of take the fast start to getting well. And to that end, the Fast Start playlist of videos is a free set of videos organized in a playlist on YouTube, dansfaststart.com. Watch those videos, study those videos, take notes on those videos, do the assessments, make a decision, this is what's going on with me, and then implement the concepts which I teach in those series of videos. Consistent messages of safety, recovering from fear, right? That's your roadmap out. And don't decide I can't do something a year from now because of my current symptoms. Because all that's doing is creating more fear and more perceived danger, because you're essentially conveying, I don't think I'm going to get better. But you can, and you will. Dig in, implement, believe, find that hope, find that strength, that courage. You can do this. If you want some help, join the group coaching. PainFreeUGroup.com. We'll help you out. 4 times a week, I'm doing Zoom calls on online. Come in, get the help you need, get the support of me and the community. You can do this. I believe in you. So I hope you believe in yourself. And hopefully you found this useful with regard to making major life decisions. Because I believe that making a life decision based on your symptoms today is based on the fear that I won't be better by that time. So, love you all. Going to wrap it up here. And as always, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.